Also, this video really doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, but while my tree's up, I'm gonna use it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a 20-week update, and I'm gonna chat about some of my favorite YouTube channels to follow, specifically ones that talk about pregnancy, childbirth, and parenting. I am 20 weeks this week. I really feel really similar to how I felt last week. I'm feeling a ton of movement, actually even more than last week. I've got to figure out a way when I film YouTube videos to not be so winded. I did read that that's like a really common side effect all throughout pregnancy, but that it gets kicked into high gear in 20 weeks because of how your body's changing. You're kind of like squishing your lungs. Man, am I feeling the effects of that. I'm always winded, but I'm really winded today, it seems. Sleep, I either sleep really well, like I sleep like a rock, or I seem to not be able to fall asleep, stay asleep, and sleep well throughout the night. It's kind of hit or miss. I am getting to the point where it's kind of hard to get comfortable, so that is some part of it, I think. I think that's playing into not being able to sleep very well. I've not had any cravings. I still have not had any cravings this whole pregnancy. There are things that I'm like, ooh, that sounds really good. Or if I see someone eating something on TV, I'm like, I want that so bad. But as far as anything like cravings wise, there hasn't been any consistency there. I do have moments where I think, ooh, wow, chicken sounds really good. And I'll just kind of wait for a few days to see if I still think it sounds delicious. And if it does, then I'll go out and get it. But no real cravings, nothing like making Brian get up in the middle of the night and go get something for me, nothing like that yet. I feel like my belly is really popping. I feel like it's really accentuated today, which is funny because I'm wearing an outfit, a black dress and black pants. So it's funny to me that it's popping out because, you know, black is supposed to be so slimming. So I guess that just speaks to how big the bump actually is. I'm so happy with my little 20-week bump. In fact, Brian came home from work for lunch today and he said, whoa, your bump is really popping today. So it's really funny to see like how it changes throughout the day and how it changes as we progress through the pregnancy. And it's just really exciting to have a little pregnant belly to rub and to love on and to talk to. We have been talking to the baby quite a bit when we see something funny on TV or when we see something. For instance, we were watching a video and someone was traveling and they went up in this really tall tower and they could look out over the city. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm afraid of heights. I'm not going up in any tall towers with you. You're gonna have to do that with your dad. So we do talk to the baby a lot like that. And then I try to play music sometimes when I'm home alone because I think that's good for their development and they can hear now, which is really exciting. Something I should have been doing all along is using my pregnancy app to kind of help myself with what's going on throughout the week. So I'm just gonna pull that up now. A lot of pregnant people at 20 weeks will have an anatomy scan. We actually have our anatomy scan scheduled for next week. So I think I'll include a little bit of that in the video next week. Also at their anatomy scan, a lot of people find out if they're having a boy or a girl, and we're choosing to be surprised, and we're gonna make a whole video about that later. And we're going to do some fun, the like old wives' tales. We're gonna do some of those and like the Chinese calendar and things like that that try to predict if you're having a boy or a girl. We're gonna go through that and see like where we land on those, but we're gonna keep it a surprise. We're not even going to find out until the baby's here. According to my pregnancy app, one thing that changes now is that instead of measuring from crown to rump, baby's able to stretch out a little more, so they'll be able to measure from head to toe, which is pretty exciting. We haven't had any measurements recently because our last visit was almost a month ago and we just listened to the heartbeat, so there wasn't any measuring, but we will have measuring done, I assume, at our anatomy scan. But right now, just based on like where a baby is in general at 20 weeks, baby is measuring about 10 inches and they probably weigh roughly like 10.5 ounces. My app also says that the baby is sprouting teeth buds under their gums, lips, eyelashes, and eyebrows, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, so now let's get into some of my favorite YouTube channels. I'm going to tag all of them in the description down below so that if you want to go to their channel, you can just click that link. So the first channel I want to mention is Mama Natural. I have watched this channel for years. I mean, I watched this channel in college when I was not even anywhere close to wanting to have a baby yet. I was watching the Mama Natural YouTube channel. I just love the way that she gives out information, that she does the research, and the way she conveys the information. She's just so easy to listen to, and it also corresponds really nicely with the Mama Natural Guide to Pregnancy that I'm reading through every week. She has a lot of different types of videos. She'll talk about pregnancy, she'll talk about having a toddler. She has 3 kids herself and they live in Florida, so her content really varies based on that, but it's all centered around pregnancy, childbirth, and parenting, and I just really love watching her channel. Recently, Mama Natural has started doing baby name videos, and I'm obsessed with them. I love baby names, and so that takes me perfectly into my next YouTube channel that I love to watch, SJ Strum. I love watching SJ Strum's videos. First of all, she has the most beautiful accent. I could literally listen to her talk about anything, but the fact that she is making videos about baby names just makes my heart sing. I love to hear her voice talking about the names and pronouncing the names. I almost hesitate to say this, but another thing that we will be keeping secret until baby arrives is our baby's name. And one of our names for our babies, because we have a boy name and a girl name picked out, one of our baby names came from an SJ Strum video. It kind of turned a little light on in our heads and we thought, ooh, we really like that name. So it's kind of cool to watch her videos and to get inspired. And even now that we're pretty much settled on the baby names that we've chosen, I still like to go watch her videos because she's just so cute, and I love hearing her explain the names, what they mean, how you can spell them differently, and how you can use them differently. I just think they're really cute. The third YouTube channel that I love to watch is called the Baby Steps Podcast. Yes, I know usually you listen to a podcast, but I like to watch a podcast because as much as I love to listen to them, I love the ability to see the expression on the faces of the people hosting the podcast when they're talking about things. I prefer to watch it if I can. That's not always possible. If I'm going on a long road trip or if I have a lot of work to do, that's not something I can do, but if I can watch it, I like to watch it. And I love watching the Baby Steps podcast. So if you are a person who watches a lot of YouTube, which if you're watching this video, I think maybe I could assume that you're into YouTube a little bit. The podcast is led by Ned and Ariel Fulmer, and the way that I found their channel is through the Try Guys, and Ned is one of 4 Try Guys, and they're a big YouTube channel. And I love watching their videos. So when they started this podcast that's basically about parenting and about having a baby and about having a toddler while you have a baby, I was super interested and started listening. They're actually on a Christmas hiatus right now, and so they're gonna come back in the new year, but they actually just had a new baby. And so I'm really enjoying their perspective, and kind of their whole thing is that they don't want to present parenting as this like perfect, easy thing. They're kind of talking about the nitty-gritty things, the things that are difficult, the things that are fun, and everything in between. They're trying not to push this narrative of like perfect parenting and perfect parents. And I really appreciate that. Next is Mama Dr. Jones. I love Mama Dr. Jones. She has a YouTube channel where she makes tons of super informative, science-based, evidence-based videos. She's an OBGYN and mom of 4, I think. As much as I watch her videos, I can never remember how many kids she has. I think 4. She has twin girls and then 2 little boys. And again, she's an OBGYN, so I love hearing her perspective as a doctor. You know, I'm not able to get into my midwife, to talk to my midwife more than really once a month. So it's really nice to have an OBGYN who's spending her time teaching about things. She also does really great interviews. Today's video that she put out, she interviewed a woman who was a bystander in the Boston Marathon bombing and who had a baby after that. And she just talked about the issues that could come about with fertility, and just walking through this woman's story of being a victim in this bombing and then carrying on with her life and moving on and being resilient after trauma. And that's just super interesting to me. I also follow Mama Dr. Jones on Instagram, so you'll probably see in my next video me mention her again, because I do love her Instagram and I share her stuff a lot. So if those things interest you, or maybe if you're pregnant right now, this would be a really good YouTube channel to follow, and also a good Instagram to follow, because you could see some questions that other people ask and then also ask questions yourself. One quick note about Mama Dr. Jones. She says this a lot. A doctor can't give specific medical advice to a person who is not their patient. So when Mama Dr. Jones gives medical advice, it really is more generic, wide sweeping. The kind of thing where you can say, hey, I heard about this, and you can go talk to your OBGYN or practitioner about that. She's not out here giving specific advice for every single person, so I just don't want you to start going in with that mindset, because that really wouldn't be appropriate from a medical standpoint. And finally is a new channel for me. My friend Catherine introduced me to this YouTube channel. It's called Kids OT Help, and I have been pouring through this YouTube channel, getting all sorts of tips and tricks for having a baby, what things I should put on my registry, what toys are great for little ones, and how to use my ring slings correctly. And I just have found this YouTube channel to be incredibly helpful. I'm still new to the channel, so I don't know as much about the person who runs the channel and as much about her family, because I'm still kind of learning through that. And I don't think she really shares as much as some of the other YouTubers I follow, but I'm so interested and I'm so enjoying being able to learn from her and from all of her tips and tricks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like watching YouTube as much as I do, because I love it. I watch it probably, I know that I watch it daily, and I probably watch it equal to or more than like Hulu and Netflix. I just love YouTube. I think there's so much out there. It can be a great place to go for information, a great place to go if you're looking for people going through similar things that you're going through. And then also it's just a great place to just laugh. There's so many funny things on YouTube. Do you watch a lot of YouTube? Do you love YouTube? If you do, you should leave me a comment down below and let me know who you enjoy watching. I would love to see if we watch some of the same people. I know I watch a lot more than just pregnancy and mom related stuff, but I would love to see what you watch as well. And if you're 20 weeks pregnant this week or somewhere in that time frame, leave me a comment. Let me know what your symptoms are like this week, what's going on with you, and how you're feeling. I'm so happy that you're here and so happy that you're following along in my journey with me. We're halfway there, we're halfway to baby, and I could not be more excited. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up, you can subscribe to my channel below. I'd love for you to leave me a comment and share it with a friend. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!